don't actually like fix your boost problems with condoms. I mean, it's rubber, it's cheap, but it's not gonna do the job. What's goody? I'm recording a video right now.
Oh shit.
I'll just cut this out.
Oh. Hey. Yo, let me get in the cut.
What's up, man? So you know that moment when you have your car paid off, but it still has warranty on it, and then you get a damage on your car that you think is under warranty, so go to the dealer, and then you try to get warranty service, but then it's not under warranty? Well, that happened to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset about that, but I want to talk to you about what that experience was like, the emotions I felt through it, and then what I did at the end ultimately. So I drive a 2020 Honda Civic Type R. It's a great car, and yeah, I paid it off recently, about like 3 months ago. And the car's giving me no issues. I previously owned the Honda Civic Si from 2015, and that car's giving me no issues after owning that one for 5 years. So it was a bit weird when I started getting like a check engine light, and yeah, I mean, I had to figure out what the hell was going on because the car wasn't making boost. So it's a turbocharged vehicle, and without boost, the car is like my Si is. And I got rid of that one to get this one to have boost. So it's just like weird. But I got it figured out, and turns out I had some sort of like issue with my emission system. That's at least what the car told me. And what I later found out was that I had a broken hose. But at the time, I didn't know that it was a broken hose. And I tried a lot of different things to fix the problem myself. But ultimately, I had to take it to the dealer. And I was willing to, you know. I usually don't like to take my car to the dealer, just because you never know what they may do to your car. They're supposed to do the right thing, but sometimes people just don't. But yeah, I had the warranty, so I was like, all right, let me just take it there and let me get it checked out. So I remember when I show up there on like off rip, I speak to a service advisor, and it's a guy I don't usually speak to. It's just like a different guy. And I was like, yo, what's up, man? Like, I hate to bring you the car for warranty service because I don't want to be here, but you might have to pay for this because I'm having an issue with my turbocharger. And he's like, yeah, so turbo's under your 3-year warranty, not under your 5-year warranty. And I do remember doing my research about an hour ago and making sure that I didn't get this wrong. Because if you don't know, at least as of the recording of this video, Hondas come with a 3 or 5-year warranty. And there's also a mileage threshold. I believe that is 36 and 60,000 miles. But as of the recording of this video, or at least when I brought it in, 4-year-old car and then under 60,000 miles. So I was like thinking as he was saying this, like, does he think that I have more than 60,000 miles? Did he not realize that my car is, you know, still kind of new? Or is he just dumb and doesn't realize what's going on? Or something else? I don't know. So in moments like these, right, when you think your turbocharger is broken, which to me seems like an expensive repair if I needed to replace the unit itself, you know, multiple thousands of dollars, it's really important that you don't lose your cool, even if somebody else is potentially mistaken. So I just looked at him and I was like, are you sure? Because I've owned Hondas before and I know that this is how the warranty works. Did they change it? He's like, oh, well, maybe it's because you bought the car out of state, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, I was like, hey, look, man, I think you're wrong, respectfully. Can you go check with someone else? So we ended up finding out they didn't know what he was talking about, which is a little disappointing because he's a service advisor and he should know everything there is to know about at the minimum warranties. I understand his job is to get me to pay for certain things, but I mean, shit, like it's not that hard to know when a warranty's valid or not. What's goody? I'm recording a video right now.
Oh shit.
I'll just cut this out.
Oh. Hey. Yo, let me get in the cut.
What's up, man? So yeah, you would think that he would know what he's talking about, but unfortunately he didn't. And I try to give people grace in these kind of times just because, hey, like, you know, maybe he didn't know what he was talking about for a good reason, but the gentleman had tenure here, so honestly, I couldn't tell you why he didn't know the right thing. A thought crossed my mind that maybe he was just doing this on purpose, but I try not to think the worst of people, especially in a time like this where we haven't even gotten the car looked at, you know? Nobody's told me what's wrong with the car and if it's covered under warranty, yes, no, maybe so. So I was like, all right, there's no point in like stressing myself out over like a fictional problem because maybe it's just a sensor issue. Um, so anyways, I waited about 3-4 hours at the dealer, and the dealer I go to sends me a video, and they're like, hey, so we found out what the issue is. And what they did is they have this smoke machine. I didn't know it existed, but they have this smoke machine where they just blow smoke into like your car's intake system, and basically it allows the smoke, which is visible, to pop out in places where it's not supposed to be in the event that a rubber hose is broken. So you can see where the hose leak is. So we found out, and yeah, they were like, "Yo, this little hose, the hose was probably like, I swear to God, like this wide. Okay, it's like a small hose. They're like, yeah, my boy, we're gonna need you to come to the desk. All right, we're gonna talk to you about this motherfucking hose." And I was like, okay, that's cool. Hose is easy. It's not a special order part. You probably have one in the back. Let's pull up. So after waiting 3 hours, I show up to the desk. I'm like, yo, what's good, my boy? He dabs me up. He's like, yo, so basically the good news, we found out what's wrong with your car. You have a little leak. You saw the video. Great. Nice. You're the man. But it's going to run you a little bit of money because it's not covered under warranty. Now, he didn't give me that look at the end, all right? Like, he didn't give me, like, what's the guy from The Simpsons? The Simpsons? That fucking guy was always like this, like, and he's got his teeth out. He didn't give me that look, but I felt like he was giving me that look because it's like, how is it that I have an issue with my turbo? You off rip get the warranty information wrong when you're not supposed to because you've been here for a while. And then you end up being right anyways, Like, I just felt like it was a setup. And again, I'm like an optimistic guy, so I never jump to these conclusions. But I was like, bro, what do you mean? What do you mean? So he was like, yeah, my boy. The part's $400. The labor's like $5. And then the diagnosis is included. So you're walking out the door giving me like a band, $1,000. I'm like, bro, for a piece of rubber, shit, with enough condoms, I could make sure I don't got a boost problem, son. Don't actually like fix your boost problems with condoms. I mean, it's rubber, it's cheap, but it's not gonna do the job. Tangent aside, yeah, it's like mad bread, and yeah, I didn't want to go like Karen on anybody, but yeah, like unfortunately, like I just didn't think this guy had like my best interest in mind, and I know it's a dealership, so they usually don't, right? Like their objective is primarily to like make the dealership money, and then worry about my satisfaction later, assuming my satisfaction is gonna go against their profit motive. So I mean, I understood where he was coming from, and I didn't really think he was like out to get me, but I just found it to be pretty convenient that I was now faced with this circumstance, despite thinking I had warranty. And I didn't mention this before, but I didn't have like any aftermarket parts or anything like that, so it's not like I necessarily caused this because I like improperly modded the vehicle. So yeah, it was basically just that part's time to go. Maybe because I'd be accelerating the way that the car was meant to accelerate. But yeah, so I just didn't know what to do. I mean, like, I just paid off my car. Things are not the absolute best they've ever been in my life financially. So I was really vulnerable, like, to pay $1,000 for like a part that costs like $50. Okay, it's like a $50 part. So I had him like itemize everything for me because I was like, let me just call Honda. Let me see if I can call Honda customer service and figure out like if I can at least get a better understanding or see if I can get some grace. And I ended up getting an itemized bill. And yeah, the part was like, from the dealer, the part was like $80. And then the diagnostic ran me like $250 or $350, $300, something like that. So I ended up speaking to Honda, gave him like, my whole story. And they're like, yeah, so the reason why this is not acceptable, under like a warranty claim is that the hose, despite being part of your intake and you having warranty on your turbo, it is not the turbo. So they only warranty like the parts themselves, not the parts connected to the parts. Okay, so anything connected to a turbo won't be covered under that 5-year warranty, but it'd be covered under the 3-year warranty. So I was like happy that, you know, there was still a way to get warranty service for other people who buy new vehicles. I'm sure it's not just Honda who does this. But upset that I thought I had warranty and I didn't. So ultimately, like, they were accommodating. They were saying like, look, like we can potentially like reach out to the dealership and see if we can help you like with the costs and stuff. And we consider things like your brand loyalty or like your dealership loyalty, and actually go to the dealership a lot. Funny enough, I have to replace my tires a lot. And I'm at my friend's house, and he has this like really nice MR2, and he just bought these tires. And this is me buying tires all the fucking time. So I go there to change my tires like freaking every 2 months. So I know I had a good relationship with them. But ultimately, like, you know, I could have done two things, right? And this is like the point of this, me making this video. In life, you're going to come across situations where you can make different kinds of decisions, you know? You can do like a neutral decision. You can like take the high road, or you could just be really petty. And I had those options, you know? So again, I could have just been like a bit vindictive, but that doesn't get you anywhere. You know what I mean? And I also didn't want to be like super, super graceful in this kind of situation, just because like I didn't like the way the situation was handled. But I wanted to do something that would, you know, not have a burden for like anybody involved. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have to complain to somebody at the dealership, because I didn't mention like everything that happened at the dealer just for sake of time. But he was being a little rude too. But yeah, I just wanted to do like the neutral thing, like whatever keeps this guy like in a good place with his job, the dealership, without having to like give me any extra money, and then ultimately me without having to like deal with the whole crap. So what I decided to do is I decided to buy the part and do the repair myself. I was a little scared, but I knew it wasn't like an electrical component. So I went ahead and I switched the problem myself. I switched the hose myself. It wasn't the easiest thing. I, for one, am not like the best when it comes down to working on cars. So I ended up making a couple mistakes. It took me probably like 2 or 3 days to fix such a simple problem, but it's because I'm just not very good at cars. And yeah, ultimately I burned my hand with some engine coolant. Always wear gloves, and thankfully my hands are not scarred, but always wear gloves because engine coolant can be hot. So if you don't wait for your car to cool off, you're gonna get your shit burned. But ultimately I think it was a good experience, because it just showed me that like at the end of the day, you're gonna have problems in life, unexpected things that are gonna come up. They're gonna challenge your financial situation or your mental sanity, whatever it is. And I think the best thing to do in life is to just take a second and think about what you're going to do before you do it. And ultimately, as good as it could feel to be vindictive towards someone or angry or let out your emotions, sometimes it's just a waste of your time. And it just brings negativity into somebody else's life who don't really need it, you know? To summarize, right, like the gentleman could have made an honest mistake. The gentleman could have just been doing his job. The gentleman, you know, may not have had, you know, his worst intentions towards me or anything like that. But, you know, ultimately, like, we all live in this world. We all got our own shit that we're dealing with. And I'd like to think that everybody wants to do the right thing for themselves, and if they can, others as well. So I'm not expecting like a great amount of grace in everything when it comes down to things in my life. But man, I was pretty vulnerable. So I wanted to share that with you guys and just remind you that, like, at the end of the day, keep your cool, take a second and think about some things before you make any rash decisions. And ultimately, always try to take the high road with when it comes down to, like, you know, being petty and stuff. If you have that option, like, hey, should I be petty? Should I take the high road? You should probably take the high road. You know what I mean? It's better for you mentally. It's a mature thing to do. And it's probably going to be the best outcome for everybody involved.